are going to be watching what makes dollar stores so cheap. And I'm going to be honest with you, it's probably expired food, stuff that didn't sell. Maybe it's not even $1 anymore. I remember my grandma used to take me to the dollar store and she said, you know what, pick out 4 things. And I thought it was the greatest day of my life. And sometimes she would let me pick out 5. So let's check it out.
Hello, children. Welcome to the fantabulous world of Extra Tugg, full of educational and children-friendly content. That's definitely what this is, so come on in. It's only $4 a month, and it's a lot of fun perks. Chris, why would you put that on the screen? You're ruining it. You're ruining it for everybody. If I asked you what's the most popular retail chain in America, you'd probably say something
Walmart? It's gotta be Walmart. Like, they have everything, right?
stupid, like CVS, Walgreens, Dwayne Reed, or
What? I can't read that. What is that?
Walmart, or Target, or perhaps BJ's. Do you guys love BJ's?
Yes, okay, he kind of a throat goat for real though.
I love BJ's. That's a real store in New England, and it's very popular. But
Yeah, I think they have them in Florida. It's like Costco, and you have to pay to get in, and then whenever you do, you get good deals. Or you also get blown. Your choice.
holy shit, how did they not see that marketing-wise? But the biggest retailer in the U.S. by number of stores is actually Dollar General.
What?
In fact, there are more dollar stores in America than every Walmart, Target, McDonald's, and Starbucks
No
combined.
shot.
Who doesn't love going down to the dollar store and picking up a new flavor of Faygo? Look,
Yeah, or like maybe trying out like their dollar store meat and then having like a $5 steak. And Faygo, dude. Homestuck, goated.
they got cotton candy flavor for only 25 cents. A fitting price for such a disgusting abomination. Oh no, it's not 25 cents, it's $1.25.
Hey! They clickbaited me to go into their store? Boo!
Well, that's a little it's a dollar store. why are we going over $1? That what for a Faygo? What the I just don't get how you're gonna lie about selling things for $1 and then not only that, sell me something that should be literally a nickel.
$1.
It's cotton candy Faygo, and you're gonna charge $1.25 for that?
Then I'm a go. As a fae. Yeah, I was trying to do some like fairy wings, but I don't think it worked out.
Have some credibility. But that's just the thing. Hardly anything in the dollar store actually costs $1.
Okay, let's see. 2 for $10 sale on the Folgers. Okay, $5. 2 for $7 Tombstone pizzas. I'm gonna be honest, I would probably tear that up. And $5 Angel Soft toilet paper. Dude, I've told this before, but I was so embarrassed to buy toilet paper whenever I was younger because I thought when I was walking out the store with the toilet paper that people were gonna point at me and go, she poops! Oh my God, she poops!
Anymore. They're all liars. They all sell things more than $1 and it's in their name. It's damn right unconstitutional. It's like if you found out I had a super small penis. I mean, my name's Big Tugg. I gotta be packing down there.
I bet it's bigger than average. It's gotta be bigger than average. Mine's like 10.
Start a rumor that I'm packing down there. And honestly, I can't think of one good reason why the dollar store would need to charge more than $1. Inflation, that's made up, print more money. But still, with prices so relatively low, it's no wonder that studies show nearly 90% of Americans have shopped at a dollar store in the last year alone.
Not me though. I don't know the last time I've been to a dollar store. I don't think so. Like my grandma liked the dollar store and then she would also go and get crossword puzzles and then we would do them together because she had a really hard time reading.
However, other research suggests that as many as 36% of shoppers use these stores at least 3 times a month. And between 2008 and 2020, food sales at these stores nearly doubled. Now, is it because that's really sad because financial times hit hard and we had to get our meat at a dollar store? Yes, that's why it happened, I would assume. But man, come on down for the steakums, kids. We got it at the
wait. Put this in between some bread with a little bit of like slutty cheese or what's it called? Sleazy cheese, like just straight up cheese whiz. It's not that bad. It's kind of like shit on the shingles, but on toast.
Dollar store. You just know it's poison. Every line in that is poison. So not only are dollar stores everywhere, but they're quickly becoming a consistent component of the American diet. During a 2020 earnings call, Dollar General CEO Ted Vasso said, "We do very good in good times, and we do fabulous in bad times."
Uh-oh. That Twitch streamer mentality, oh hell no.
He loves the pores, Teddy. Honestly, if everything's going so good all the time, sounds like you could probably afford to keep your shit under $1 there, Ted. But consider
Dude, who else was like that? Wasn't that the Campbell's soup guy? where he was like eating the Campbell's soup or something, and he was like, I wouldn't even buy that. Like, that shit sucks. But he like owned Campbell's soup.
Considering today's dollar is worth 47% less than it was 25 years ago, Ted's fabulous bad time seems to be here to stay. Tugglets, it's time to dig between the cushions of your couch and find the spare change, because today we're taking a trip to the dollar store and we're gonna figure out what the hell's going on over there. And also, do people find change between the cushions anymore? I mean, I haven't had a couch good enough to have cushions. It's usually one slate of fabric. And even then, I mean, do people have loose change in their pockets anymore?
I don't know the last time I had loose change. I remember my dad lost his credit card and he told my sister and I if we could find it, he'd give us $20. And we were like super racing to find it. We tore apart the whole couch, went through his car, everything for $20.
I remember going between the cushions and getting ice cream money for the ice cream truck when I was a child. Kids don't have that anymore. Chris, you can go to the next segment whenever you want. I'm just going to be talking about the ice cream man for a while. The roots of discount retail stretch back so far that they predate the era when a dollar was considered cheap. It's hard to think about now, but there was a time in America when a crisp George Washington was actually worth something.
Yeah, you could get a McChicken. I love the McChicken, especially for $1. Or you could get a big sody pop, any size. That was also great. Yeah, McDouble. Like, now it's a McNothing.
Not filling up space in your pockets. What are you gonna get for $1 nowadays? A cow tail plus crisp.
Oh, I love cow tails. I'm not even kidding. Those are delicious.
I got a picture of a cow tail. They're delicious.
They're good. I know.
They're fucking disgusting. Back in 1788, $1 was worth $30.
Wow.
You think I don't get money. How can that be true? Which is why the first discount stores were actually called 5
Smartest person you know. Why don't they just print more?
10-cent stores. Hey, yeah, you see? The first of which was created in 1878 by the most 1878 name I've ever heard in my life, Frank Winfield Woolworth.
Oh.
Holy shit, that is an entrepreneur. Woolworth did live up to his name, however, becoming wildly successful by creating the first 5 and dime stores. The business model was so lucrative that it was quickly duplicated by other stores, spawning some of America's first chains, including what would eventually become the 20th century retail giant Kmart.
Kmart! Dude, I forgot about Kmart, and so did everybody else. That's why they went out of business.
Remember Kmart? That's why I said 20th century giant, because that's not around no more. They failed spectacularly. Maybe I'll make a video about that one day, but we're going to be talking about the dollar store today. But of all the 5 and dimes, none were as successful or as influential as the 20th century Ben Franklin store.
Oh, wait, he's on the dollar? I can't remember. Is he on the $100? I don't know anything. I'm so behind on dollar lore.
Now, naming your store after a founding father is a bold move, especially when you're picking Benny Franklin, because that dude was a pervert. I mean, not only did he invent lightning rods, bifocals, and glass instruments played with wet...
Dude, school didn't teach me anything bad. Like, I never know who's perverted. I never knew who did bad things. I didn't know Henry Ford was the way that he was. I thought he just made the car vroom vroom. Like, I've been learning a lot watching videos.
Fingers called the harmonica.
Yeah, holy Texas education. He was the OG hag maxer. Wait, how many hags did he have? He was a manhole? No shot. Was Benjamin Franklin into older women? Yes, he preferred older women? What? He jokingly noted in a letter that in the dark, age is not noticeable and they pose no risk for pregnancy. What the hell? Oh my God, get him away from my grandma!
Franklin wasn't just inventing things, he was also a cocksmith. The dude loved him some French. He loved a French more than he loved this country. So in his honor, we decided as a country to get together and name a cheap little fucking store after him. And I'm sure he would be thrilled if he lived to see the day. Ben Franklin stores were everywhere. At the company's peak, they operated 2,500 locations. And in 1945, a World War II veteran named Sam Walton bought a Ben Franklin in Newport, Arkansas. The store was sold to Franklin for $25,000, and the sellers apparently were quoted as saying, "This dude's buying a lemon." That's not a direct quote. They wouldn't say this dude.
He's buying a lemon? Okay, on AO3, that means something entirely different.
But they did call the store a lemon. And if you don't know what a lemon is, it's something that's right out the gate and he's probably gonna fail. But what nobody saw coming was the business IQ of this fucking shell-shocked war veteran. In 3 years, Walton's annual sales topped $250,000.
Wow.
Which in today's money is about a trillion billion jabinka joints.
What? A Googleplex?
That's a lot of money back then. Eventually, Walton struck out on his own, creating a little store called Walmart. That's right.
He made Walmart? Oh my God. He's a more billionaire. What the hell? And Sam's Club? Yeah, this is Wallure.
Right, the basic principles of Walmart, one of the world's largest retailers, were fine-tuned in the dollar store, where Walton learned the pricing, merchandising, and layouts that would influence the Walmart model. And you guys know the Walmart model. It's perfect. You get the candy at the checkout aisles, you sell.
Yeah, and then you bring them to the movie theaters inside your big old pants, so nobody's got to actually charge you $10 for some Reese's Pieces.
Guns in cages next to baby formula.
Yeah, dude, I remember that. My Walmart doesn't have guns anymore, and I don't even know if they have like worms, because my dad used to take me to Walmart and we would get worms and go fishing.
It's perfect. It's America. But it isn't just Walmart that claims roots in the Ben Franklin stores. This shit was wildly influential, turns out. In 1953, a Ben Franklin was purchased by K.R. Perry, whose son would eventually take up the family business by opening up a Dollar Tree in 1986.
Oh, wow.
Remember the Dollar Tree? It's the whole point of the video. I've been ignoring that. I can't write a script for the of me, but I'm...
No, I like it. I like how he goes on a little bit of a tangent, and then I learn more stuff, and then I realize that my Texas education was very abysmal.
I hope you've been enjoying this.
Yes!
Hope you get all your fun facts.
Yes!
I am burnt out, guys. I can't do this forever. But it was 3 decades earlier, in the 1950s, when dollar stores began to take the shape we recognize today.
Yeah.
Dollar General opened up in Springfield, Kentucky in 1955, and Family Dollar of Charlotte, North Carolina followed just 4 years later. Dollar General expanded to 29 stores and was doing annual sales of $5 million just 2 years after opening.
Wow. See, and that's where I hope he talks about the different breeds of the dollar store. Because there's Family Dollar, Dollar Tree, I'm pretty sure there's another one, but I always confuse them and I don't know if they have the same papa and mama.
Family Dollar opened up 100 stores in its first
Dollar
decade,
General.
and then they opened up another 100 stores just a year after that. They were booming, exponential growth. Chris put up a chart. The 50s facilitated their spread because of the growth of the American suburbs and small towns after World War II. Dollar stores filled that gap of affordable and convenient shopping. Come on down, we're selling hams today. Plus, big box stores like Walmart, they weren't even existing yet. You had to wait a decade for that shit. And even when they did, they tended to grow at a slower pace. But this was...
Dude, I think about that. Like, the age we live in is so different nowadays. Like, you could go to Walmart and pick out whatever you want anytime and then just, like, go home and, like, use it. Or you can even order on Amazon. But, like, before, you would have to go to, like, a bunch of different, like, individual stores and then make sure that you got what you wanted from, like, the shoe store, then, like, the shirt store, then, like, the grocery store. But now it's all in one spot. Especially, like, nowadays it's so easy to lazy max.
The genius of the dollar store, and the reason they spread across the country like a weed. They require so little overhead, gang. So little overhead. Their buildings, inventories, and employees are a fraction of those needed by regular retail shops. Because I'll let you in on a little secret, okay? If you have an entire store dedicated to shit that costs less than $1, you can only imagine how little that costs to actually produce and sell.
Yeah, I mean, I guess they probably do the same, like, Walmart strat of just buying in such huge bulk that they can bring the price down, and then people are trying to get rid of their product, and they're like, just take it, just take it.
We're making a crazy margin on all this shit. Smaller footprints allows them to thrive in communities often overlooked by bigger retailers and places where it isn't practicable or profitable to run a Walmart. And these places that I just described also happen to be full of the most desirable clientele for the dollar store. The poors. Dollar General CEO Ted Vasso says that their average customer is a woman in a dual income household that earns less than $40,000 before taxes. Yikes. And has only...
It's kind of crazy they know all that. What the hell? How do they know all that?
About 800 of disposable income per year. It's not a great situation to be in. This makes much of rural America a prime spot for their industry. However, 75% of Americans nowadays do live within a 5-mile radius of a dollar store. So how does that amount of expansion make sense with the average demographic of a discount shopper? These dollar stores aren't just in the shanty towns, they're in nice suburbs, and they're around the rich people. So how's that going down? Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's that time of show where I bring up the fact that shit's pretty bad right now, and it's been pretty bad for a while, and
It's
it doesn't
so
look like
over.
it's getting better. The rich people are poor now. We're
Dude, I was just thinking about this the other day too. Like, there's no middle ground in buying anything anymore. Like, I've been trying to, like, find clothes that I can wear to, like, go out if I'm, like, not going to the gym or anything like that, or, like, going, I guess, to go get lunch. And now, like, nice clothes are so expensive, and there's no, like, middle amount of clothes that you can wear to just, like, look kind of cute, but you don't want to, like, spend a ton of money. It's crazy. Or, like, even thrifting kind of sucks now because people will go there, buy all the nice stuff, scalp it, and then sell it on eBay. It sucks.
A new study found out that in 1971, 61% of Americans lived in middle-class households, which earned 2/3 of all income. And in 2023, only 51% of Americans were middle class, which earned less than half of all income. And I know I'm throwing a lot of numbers out here. It gets a little confusing when you start thinking about how bad things actually are, but they're important in this discussion because you can quote me on this. Chris, put up on the screen, numbers are business.
No, don't make me do math for a YouTube video, please. I'm out of school. I'm over it.
That's the first thing they teach you in business school. You like numbers? Because that's business. What I'm saying is the middle class is shrinking, and that's a great thing for people who own dollar stores. To quote Vaso, as this economy continues to chug along and create more of our core customer, Jesus Christ, that's so dark.
That is crazy. Dude, I would never want to be a part of, like, these huge corporate businesses where you just, like, hope people start failing. You're like, yes, you fail, I succeed, yes.
I think there's going to be more and more opportunities for us to get in and build more stores. That's so
wow, that's horrible.
I'm sure we're thinking of it in the wrong context. I'm sure he's talking to people who aren't poor, but oh my god. And this leads us to the consequences of the dollar store strategy. While they often like to position themselves as businesses that do good for the community by helping consumers stretch their dollar while providing access to shopping in underserved areas, they actually play a role in destroying local communities. And we're going to talk about that. As dollar stores aggressively expand, they're no longer just filling in needs for rural towns and small suburbs, they're competing with local grocery stores and effectively wiping them out.
Dude, it was that way. When I lived in Louisiana, I would have to go to the dollar store all the time because it was like the only place that was near my house where I could actually buy stuff. Because if I wanted to go to the grocery store, I had to drive like really far.
Dollar stores often open up right next door to local businesses, and what do you can't compete with someone selling a $1.25 cotton candy Faygo. Reports suggest that it's typical for mom and pop sales to drop by roughly 15 to 30% after a dollar store opens, driving many of them out of business. Studies have found a substantial decline in the number of grocers within a 2-mile radius of new dollar stores, which lead to food deserts. And that's when an area it's really hard to get good, healthy food, so they have to go to like 7-Eleven and buy donuts in order to survive.
I've never had 7-Eleven food. I mean, I guess I did in Japan because I like the egg sandwiches. But I've never had like a 7-Eleven pizza. I think one time I had like a taquito, but that was pretty much it. It's barely food there. Oh, I do like the Slurpees. I like that. I do love a nice frozen beverage. The pizza's good. It slaps. Damn. Should we do a stream where I rank every single pizza and I even go get pizzas from like 7-Eleven?
Big issue, and dollar stores contributing to that. And this cycle continues as fewer grocery stores mean more business for dollar stores, leading to more dollar stores opening, destroying even more grocery stores. So at this point, I know what you're asking yourself. Tucker,
what?
Is this all this bad stuff you're talking about? Is this all worth the savings? Is this worth the $1.25 Faygo, which is the only item I currently know that sells at dollar stores? But honestly, that question might be a little bit of a moot point. Dollar stores have a penny pinching reputation that's made them a favorite among thrifty and low-income households, but that reputation might actually not be warranted. After all, if you think about it, these stores are making an insane amount of money.
I gotta know how much.
Dollar General's net sales topped $40 billion, while
40 billion? Oh my god, if I had $40 billion right now, I'd get me a DDR machine.
Dollar Tree raked in $17.6 billion, and Family Dollar made $13.25 billion. How could a business that keeps inventory so cheap make so much goddamn money? Guys, they do it by doing what everyone else does. They over the customers. It's
no. And dude, you know the employees are not getting paid good either because every single time I go into a dollar store, they look so sad and they're overworked and they're the only person there who has to do all of putting everything up. They have to go and they have to do the register. Then they gotta help people. It's always only like one guy working in the dollar store.
So simple. Why didn't I think of it? One of the most common tactics dollar stores use to increase profit margins is shrinkflation. A very chuggy term, a very millennial term, but it's actually real, so we gotta pay attention to it. The term was coined in 2009 to describe the practice of charging the same amount of money for a product while slightly shrinking its size.
Dude, I can't even look at like a chocolate bar without thinking of the infinite chocolate thing that used to happen whenever I was a kid. They would show you and they're like, how does the chocolate keep multiplying? Let me show you. Do you remember this? They would like cut the chocolate over and over again, and then they would show you, they're like, how come you always end up with one free piece of chocolate?
Studies find that consumers are less likely to stop buying a product due to shrinkflation than due to a price increase. And they might not even notice a smaller Snickers bar. It might be like a quarter-inch smaller. I wasn't paying attention, so give it to them. They don't give a f. But shrinkflation explains.
Wait, that's why my Gatorade got a snatched ass waist now? I thought she was just on Gatorade Ozempic.
Why many consumers might not realize that in 2022, Gatorade changed the side of its standard bottle from 32 ounces to 28 ounces. Gatorade.
Wow.
Come on now. I need that lemon juice. I need that yellow juice in my body when I get a cold. But unfortunately,
okay, I do like the yellow one the most. That one is my favorite. That was kind of based.
Fortunately, shrinkflation is a strategy that dollar stores use to exploit the vulnerability of their primary customer base. Now, considering practices like shrinkflation are going on, it's kind of hard to think about if you're actually saving any money shopping at these stores. And that's why we came up with a brand new game to help you navigate the discounts in the dollar store aisle. It's time to play Deal or No Deal.
I love Deal or No Deal. If I would have been on that, I would have destroyed that game as a kid or as an adult. And another show I'd probably be good at is The Price is Right. I'm good at that one too.
Cannot be right. That's already taken, Jimmy. You f***ed that up. I can't say that. That's a f***ing copyright. All right, that's why we're playing a brand new game called Thrifty or Shitty. Well, I can't say that over and over. I'm gonna get demonetized. Thrifty or Shifty. You dropped the ball on this one, Jimmy. The
that's
rules are
good.
simple. I'll show you a dollar store item, and then you get to decide whether it'd be cheaper to just get it at a local grocery store.
Dude, or Costco. Costco is a really good deal. I am such a cost hoe.
It probably is, because I love the deals down at Market Basket. More product placement. Go to Market Basket. They f***ed over Demula, but the deals are still there. All right, number one. Challenge number one.
Okay.
Mayo. Put it on the screen, Chris. Got a jar of mayo. This 8-ounce jar of Kraft.
It just looks weird. Like, it looks like glue. I don't know how to explain it. Like, something is wrong.
Real mayo sounds like a steal at $1.25.
But it's so tiny, it's so pathetic, it's so small. It's the smallest thing I've ever seen, and definitely is gonna be way smaller in my hands comparative to the other mayo I've had. Bad!
Which equals about 15.625 cents per ounce. Holy, what a steal. But honestly, I've never heard of mayo coming in an 8-ounce increment, so I'm a little bit, I'm already confused and a little bit suspicious. I also hate how it immediately labels itself as real. I know they're trying to differentiate themselves from mayo, what's that shit? Miracle Whip, which is disgusting.
I hate Miracle Whip! Blech, it tastes so nasty.
But I hate when anyone put, like, made with real sugar. I f***ing hope, what kind of...
Yeah, I hate that too. Yeah, why do you gotta tell me? Now I'm suspicious. Or like what happened during like the is that outside the stores, if you got to go like back to the mall, it would be like, we cleaned the store, being cleaned every hour. We weren't doing that before? Like, now we're cleaning the store?
Sugar can you use? I don't know. Calling it real mayo makes it seem like it's a naturally occurring element on this earth instead of being whipped up with a shit ton of oil and eggs.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't grow on a tree, gang. It's not, real is a big word. Okay, so it's time to decide, Tuglets. Thrifty or shifty?
Shifty!
Survey says,
Too small!
30-ounce jar of mayonnaise runs about $40 at my local grocery store, which comes in at about 13.3 cents an ounce. Which some of you geniuses out there would notice that that is less than the number I said earlier about the dollar store mayo. So you're getting even though it seems cheaper, you're...
I'm getting by mayonnaise? Oh, I guess it is an instrument!
just buying less. All right, number 2, Thousand Island dressing. I'm pretty sure that's what they put on Big Macs. I've never had it on a salad. Again, we have an example of a weirdly small bottle, with this dressing again costing $1.25 for an 8-ounce bottle, or 15.625 per ounce, whatever cents.
I don't know,
Whatever.
I don't
You
eat
got
that.
It's cheap. So anyway, thrifty or shifty? And
Probably all shifty. I mean, I think I'm starting to see the game here.
sir, it's a little weird, actually. For complete transparency, the 8-ounce bottle available at the dollar store was Kraft, a name brand. And with that in mind, my local grocery store carries a 16-ounce bottle of Kraft Thousand Island for $4.29, which is approximately 26.8 cents per ounce. And that would make the dollar store version of this thrifty.
If it wasn't expired.
However, if you're already shopping at the dollar store, I don't think a name brand is much of a concern, in which case you can get a generic Thousand Island for $2.49 or 15.5 cents per ounce, which makes the dollar store version of Thousand Island dressing shifty. So I guess you just gotta pay attention to, you gotta bring a calculator to the store, which is...
To be fair, I don't really eat Kraft dressings that much, and I don't even like Hidden Valley Ranch. Like, I'd rather just make it myself.
so fun when I'm shopping at a discount store. All right, challenge number 3, ramen. The cheapest thing on earth. I remember back when these were 29 cents a fucking packet. I don't know
I
what
love
happened to this, but
ramen.
Ramen is pretty much the cheapest way to keep yourself alive on this planet, so I was a little surprised to see this stuff at the dollar store charging $1.50 per pack. That is so
Per pack? Dude, you can walk into Walmart and get a giant box of them for like $1. They're like 10 cents.
much money. You just buy a can of soup for that. But it's a 5-pack, so if you do the math, each one's only about 30 cents, and that's a screaming good deal for a bowl of soup. But ramen noodles occupy a weird space in the culinary world. The type you make at home is incredibly unhealthy, accounting for 72% of your
A lot of sodium. There is a crap ton of salt in them things. But my favoriteest ramen is actually, it's like the curry ramen noodles. Those are so good.
recommended sodium intake per package, and the kind you get at a restaurant melts in your mouth, and it's the best thing on earth. So
Yeah.
it's weird. I don't get it. But one thing I noticed is a 5-pack of ramen noodles is a little unorthodox. Usually it's a 6-pack. So my
Yeah, like this.
suspicion flares are flaring. Is it thrifty or shifty? Answer. Okay, we might be splitting hairs here because ramen is already so goddamn cheap, but you can get a 12-pack at a standard grocery store for $4.99, which is over 41 cents a pack. So this is thrifty, but with a pretty big asterisk. Keep in mind that these bigger packs of ramen do always go on sale. In fact, while I was writing this, you could get a 12-pack of ramen at my local market for $2.99 or a little less than 25 cents a pack. So whatever. Frozen pizza, number 4.
Dude, ramen is the goat. Like, whenever I was in college, I'd always eat ramen, or I would get, like, spaghetti and just, like, a can of marinara sauce or whatever, or, like, a jar of it, and then I would eat that for, like, a week.
This was one of the most shocking items I found in the store, because each one of these pizzas is $5.
I love Red Baron!
It's a supreme pizza, but it's still a fucking frozen pizza. And it's not even DiGiorno, which is like the best one. So survey says thrifty or shifty, and I thought this was gonna be a slam dunk for shifty. No way could anyone in their right mind charge over $5 for a Red Baron pizza. But sure enough, they do. This same thing is being sold at my local grocery store for $5.99. $1 more for Red Baron. What happened to this country?
Dude, they were like $1. There's literally no way.
You know how we win this game, folks. I feel like we're losing, no matter what we do. How did it get so dark? This was supposed to be a fun history lesson about the dollar store. What's the next segment? Oh, good.
Are you loyal to a specific freezer brand pizza? No, I kind of try them all. Wait, does anybody in chat have their favoriteest freezer pizza? You can put me on it, because I like freezer pizza whenever I'm feeling lazy.
Section is called the human cost of a dollar store. Fantastic. Dollar stores aren't always a value for consumers, and they often hurt local businesses. But guess what? They are awful to their employees.
That's what I said earlier. They got one guy running around doing everything.
92% of Dollar General workers earn less than $15 an hour.
What?
Which, just in case you weren't paying attention, $15 an hour is not livable anywhere in the United States anymore. You could be in Kansas and you're Not only are these staffers underpaid, but they also have to work with the bare bones staffing. Oftentimes, dollar stores only have 2 people working at once. And that
2? Holy crap! No shot!
That makes things really complicated, considering that they're always trying to sell balloons at the front of their store.
Oh,
Just
no.
one parent trying to buy a balloon for their child that they love will completely f over an entire shift at Dollar General. Not to
Oh, and one of them has to be the manager. So then they make the other guy do all the work while they just do whatever. Oh, no.
mention that since there's only 2 people working, you basically have to do everything. You ring people up, you stock the shelves, you clean. Go to any grocery store, they have like 40 people doing all those jobs. There are people who are making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year who don't even work remotely as hard. Former dollar store employees report being expected to work long hours with little or no overtime.
Aww.
So not only is this wildly exploitative, it's also extremely unsafe.
Yeah, and imagine that's like your only job opportunity if you live in like a really small town, like how I lived in Louisiana and there was not really a lot of places you could go. So you basically have to work at the dollar store and then they just like work you like crazy. And then guess what? When you're trying to leave and you're hungry and there's no grocery store around you, then you just gotta buy food from the dollar store to take home. So then it's just like a cycle of putting the money back into the business. Oh no!
Take care of stocking, the merchandise piles up in the aisles. I don't know if you've been to a dollar store recently, but it looks like a fucking bomb went off. And federal safety inspections have repeatedly found blocked exit routes, fire hazards, and unsafely stacked merchandise. In 2024, Dollar General paid a $12 million fine to the government for workplace safety violations. Nothing changed. They were just like, yeah, we do that shit. Here's the money for it, but...
Yeah, and then they'll just do it again. Like, basically, a law and a fine is fine if you can afford it. They don't care.
We're not it's way cheaper to just not pay these people than it is to pay you guys, so fuck it. But a blocked exit is the least of your worries at the dollar store. Because of their lack of security and small numbers of employees, they get robbed all the fucking time.
Yeah.
There's any 50-50 coin flip. If you walk into a dollar store, it's currently in the middle of a mugging. In Dayton, Ohio, 81 criminal incidents were counted by police at dollar stores in 2023. And while the majority of them involved theft, several of them were robberies. Robberies are incredibly common at the dollar store. And I know they're an easy target because they got one dude called Todd running the shop, but how much money could you squeeze out of a fucking dollar store?
Yeah.
I'm sure they have $20 in cash behind the register, but man, they think it might be worth it because people die a lot during these.
Really?
According to data from the Gun Violence Archive, 172 people have been injured in Dollar General stores since 2014.
Oh, hell
and
no!
nearly 50 have died. That's too many. I mean, death is always a tragedy, but we're averaging 5 a year here. One Ohio Dollar General employee named Dave Dukes actually experienced 3 armed robberies.
3? Oh, hell no! I quit!
So many that the company sent him to other stores in the region to train employees on how to handle themselves while
No. They said we need an expert. No!
a gun is being pointed at them. But after his 3rd robbery, Dukes hit his limit and he started bringing a gun to work. I don't fucking blame him. And
I wouldn't either, damn! We're gonna make this like Fortnite Tilted Towers! Don't mess with me!
of course, he got robbed again at Dollar General and he fucking shot the dude and killed somebody. All this over cotton candy Faygo. All right, this is bad. This was not as fun as I thought it was.
He parried that shit!
Gonna be. We gotta make this fun. Okay, goofy dollar store names in other countries. That's more like it. Okay, we'll end on a fun note. We'll just talk about this, how the Europeans name their dumb shit. In Germany, you get One Hero Shop, which is pretty boring.
Japan. Daiso?
Has 100 yen shops,
Oh,
which is
that
kind of
too.
fun. I don't get why Asian countries have denominations of money that are so much, though. I don't get that. Like, they're like, oh yeah, that hamburger costs 1,400 yen. Just make it 14. Take a couple zeros off that bitch. I don't know.
Living in Japan was the only time I ever had to have a coin purse. I literally had like a thing full of money that I had to bring around everywhere and like pay in cash. I had never, ever dealt with that before.
Why we do that? Like South Korea, 1,000 won shop. Like, make it $1. Why? Just cut the zeros off of it. Vietnam, 10K stores. You see what I'm saying?
Damn! Wait, no.
Vietnam, 10K.
That CS, that looks like a gaming league logo. Like they be straight up playing League of Legends.
Stores. You see what I'm saying? Dollarama in Canada. That's fun. That
sounds normal.
The UK used to have a 3-penny stores, which sounds dumb, but now they have Poundland, which is
Oh, that's where I found your mom.
where I took your mother last night. And of course, Poland has
What?
I have no clue. I don't know. Chris, put it on the screen. I have no fucking clue
Lizikstiko 5
how to say that. There's a 5 in there. 5's watch. Nothing like a little xenophobia to take the edge off. But before I go, I want to make one thing abundantly clear. I don't think it's bad to shop at the dollar store. I don't think that's a bad thing to do. And I'm not shaming anyone for doing it. You guys aren't the problem. That's absolutely fine.
You have no
Sometimes
choice
you can really
most times.
stretch your George Washington shopping at these fine retailers. However, I think it's important to realize just how these stores work, and that's by feeding off of our misery. They give less, they charge more, they destroy small businesses, and create practically death traps. As one retail researcher expertly put it, what the dollar stores are betting on in a large way is that we are going to have a permanent underclass in America, based on the concept that the jobs went away and the jobs are never coming back, and that things aren't going to get better in any of these places. So on that super fun note, thanks for watching Big Tugg. New videos every Saturday and sometimes Wednesday. Like, comment, and subscribe. Do all those things. Shout out the extra Tugglets. All my little bargain boys. They're all $4 a month. Speaking of deals, we run deals all the time. I think at the beginning of this year, you get a free week. Crazy. $4 a month. $4 a month to get 4 videos a month. All of them are crazy wacky. I talk about fucking
Wacky and playboy. Wait, what?
penises and shit. And I also sometimes answer your questions. I ask you love advice and I give you that love advice. And I don't know why anyone's coming to me. Probably because my dick is huge. Remember that?
What is this director's gut?
Beginning. Make sure everyone knows about that. You also get your name at the end of the video. It's pretty cool. Look how many names. I might have to do something about this.
Anyways, thank you so much for watching. If you're you're new here, please come by the Twitch stream. I would super appreciate it. Or use code Berry for 10% off your Gamer Subs order. It super helps me out because I would love to get a Booba Cup, and I appreciate it. Have a great evening. Goodbye, YouTube! Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye!